Welcome to Finding Gratitude, Episode 2 with Alicia Ali and yours truly.
Good morning. Morning, David.
Good morning, Alicia. How are you today?
Blessed. I'm well. Thankful.
Uh,
Just recovering from a slight. I was under the weather. Yeah, I mean, you know that, but I'm just
mm,
still recovering. But
um,
yeah, I mean, I feel good, and I'm happy that we're here today. And I think that when we are uplifting and empowering, it's so important to do it for ourselves. And I think this is what we do, our tune-ups.
I realized that after speaking with you that I'm trying to do a lot of things for people, but I'm not doing as much as I can for myself.
Yeah, that's typical. It's typical.
So
It's
instead of
because
being,
we have so much compassion for others, so much like willingness to help them, and then our own worthiness. We have to like reevaluate our own worthiness. Do we really deserve help? Do we really deserve to ask for help? Will people really be there for us, or will we be disappointed? And so
mhm,
all of those things come into question when we need to take care of ourselves.
yep, yep. And I often tell people, I often ask people when the last time they took for themselves was, because I find if I don't regularly check in with myself or take time for myself, I start to resent the people around me, and not for anything other than just lack of self attention or self care. And I mean, something so simple as not eating before, like, okay, Saturday happened. And
Yeah.
I don't think I ate until Saturday was the Easter extravaganza, hosted by Expose the North and presented by Black Rabbit Music Group. And I don't think I ate until like 2 o'clock. I ate some, I nibbled on something in the morning, but I
Yeah.
didn't really eat until like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I realized by that time I was just buzzing off of
Yeah,
the natural energy and the sunlight and the
for sure.
people.
And
But
and because you're constantly on the go, the other adrenaline rush adds to that.
yes. But when I stopped, it was just like, whoa,
Yeah,
I need to,
for sure.
so momentum does play a huge part in, the energy flow.
Yes,
So,
of course it does. Momentum can go up or downhill, right?
yep,
It
telling
can
you.
go really fast either way.
It was a roller coaster. I'm very grateful for everybody that came out. I'm not the type, there's a lot of people who will have events and they don't turn out the way they expect them to. And then they'll get sour and they'll start complaining about things they had no control over. Nope. I'm glad for everyone who came out. Anybody who wasn't able to, there's going to be another one. You'll hear about it, you'll see it, and just tune in because it's going to be more fun than the last. The kids had a great time. The kids took over the stage for the last, I want to say, hour or two, actually. And I was so happy that they were willing to get on the stage and express themselves and have fun and just do what kids do. So
For sure.
that's one of the things that made me happy this Easter weekend. What are you happy about?
Oh, just for some downtime, for sure. I think, always on the go, always running here or there, and it was just really nice to slow down and enjoy the time with family,
Mm,
especially when we have the Monday off and the Friday off. It's nice for us with the kids, right? The kids get
yep,
that extra time of chocolate and spending time with family. So it is fun. I
yeah,
enjoy Easter.
yeah. My daughter asked for the day off today, so I give her 3 days a month that she can take off.
That's a lot of time.
It it is, but given her current level of maturity, we'll say,
Mm,
and the natural things that happen, I figured I'd give her that window of time. She doesn't always use it, and when she does use it, like she is at home learning something, like she's learning life economics or something to further herself. It's not like we're just sitting here playing video games. And if we are just sitting here playing video games, she's counting how many, like she's counting or she's learning or she's doing something that she might not realize. So usually the day after an event, I have massive cleanup to do because I have to pull apart my
Yes.
studio to put the stage together. So um I have to rearrange all of that stuff now. So she's taking a day off, and I think she's decided she's going to help me with that.
Oh,
So
that's nice of her to help.
yeah, yeah. So I'm grateful. I'm definitely grateful for that. Um, and we gotta get as a at large. We gotta get into the practice of being grateful for things. And I know it's hard to at times, want to say thank you for something when you're in the middle of a turmoil or trauma or something bad
100%.
going on. But
100%.
I saw a post the other day that says it takes a lot of darkness to make a star. I'm
Yes.
paraphrasing, but yeah.
Even that it's the only way to get up is to go down. And I never understood that logic. If you have to feel that deepness of your soul in order to feel the bliss of it, and that was you can't go from the middle and never experience any depth. And I thought that was also very profound, that you have to go through the ups and downs.
Mm. Well, if that's the case, I'm right on course.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I felt the same way. I was like, man, do I really have to go deeper down in this hole?
Yeah, yeah. Like my daughter asked me the other day, she's like, "Are you sure you want to go down that rabbit hole?" And I'm just like, "Well, I'm
Yes.
already in there, so I might as well see where it goes." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yes.
we gotta go somehow. Even
Actually,
for
that's
yeah.
another thing I wanted to say, because it just made me think about relationships. Like,
Mhm.
relationships are the hardest thing to be grateful for in the moment, because you're like, I'd be grateful if that person did what I wanted them to do. But because
Yep.
that person didn't do what I wanted, I'm not grateful, or I'm not pleased with them. And I think that that's the actual key, is just being grateful for that person, whether they're there or not. And actually, it's a blessing if they're there or not. Like, whatever it happens is actually for you. And I I I tend to teach this a lot when people pass away. And I have my 3-day webinar starting Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So it's
Mhm.
like, when that person is not there, physically informed, and they're in the transition period, it's easier to forgive them, because they're not in your face. They're not here actually interacting with you. But
Yep.
because people are here interacting, making their decisions, upsetting you because they're not pleasing you, then it's harder to forgive them. It's harder to find any peace with them. And so you're resentful or you're upset. And so finding that gratitude in that process is actually the key. And I was kind of profound. Like, I thought that was pretty profound.
Mm.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is. Definitely
That
is.
gratitude. At all times. At all times.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, like if you stub your toe, you gotta be grateful that the other nine didn't get hurt. You know what I mean? That
Exactly.
that
Or,
kind of logic.
that your cells in your toe can repair itself and know how to repair itself. So therefore, it's like a blessing that you have an immune system that's going to repair itself. Like,
Even if you don't understand the process, just be
that's it.
grateful for it.
Exactly. And that your cells can repair itself, and that it has a mind of its own. And therefore,
Yes,
you're like on a cellular level, so intellectual.
yes, but that's the thing. If you're so intellectual on a cellular level, and the cells are what construct the body, what leads people to believe they're not as intellectual on a composite level?
Exactly. Exactly that. And I think that when you get down to the gritty of everything that you're grateful for, you really do see the totality of the blessing. You see, like, holy crow, I have everything, or even abundance. And so
Hmm.
that's where the small things to be grateful for, counting our blessings, came from. Because when you stop doing that, you don't realize the infinite potential that you have.
Hmm. Hmm. And potential is infinite. It's something that what I mean. It becomes kinetic, and once you kineticize, I believe that's the word. Once you make your potential kinetic,
Yeah.
the world is your oyster. It is
Easter.
limitless.
That's it. That's it. Exactly it. That's exactly it. And I don't understand that chain reaction, right? Like, I'm so eager to see that chain reaction happen, that you're like doing really well in one area because you're focusing on it. The momentum is flowing, and therefore everything else flows into place. I am yet to see that synchronicity happen, that harmony happen in my life anyway. I'm eager to see that.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you haven't seen it on a macro scale.
Yeah, macro scale.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Because like on a micro scale or on a smaller scale, I see it like with things like, I mean, your activity times with your son, your structure of your schedule. Those are those are things that are going to contribute to the macro. But
Well,
like,
but I feel like I put effort and force into that. Like I plan that out. I organize my time. I, plan ahead. So
yeah.
I'm eager to see it just kind of flow. I'm
Oh,
looking
okay, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's like I think about 285 episodes, and for the first 175, it was like everything was a strategy. Everything was meticulous. Everything was just like I have to do this,
yeah.
I have to that, I have to this. And then like I got to a point, I want to say around like 185, where I was just like, yeah, this is gonna happen. And I just kind of went with the way things happen and the way things developed. And it's a challenge because the work has to be put in there at first. It's like
Yeah.
yeah, it's like building the base of the snowman kind of thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Um, it's the hardest part until you build the middle part. Because you still got to lift that middle part to where it goes. So it's like the effort you put in is the ease you'll get out. So it's
Yes.
almost like the harder you work to get your goal, the easier it is to achieve it.
And the thing is that I really have to fine tune my emotions, because if I'm feeling struggle in that push, if I'm feeling doubt, if I'm feeling frustration, if I'm feeling like this process is too hard and I'm not smart enough to overcome the hurdles, I won't even get to that next stage of flow.
See, that's where believing beyond belief is
Believe.
essential.
Yes.
Believe it's like
Yes.
and I'm not telling people that you should believe you can fly, but R. Kelly made a song about that. But I think it's too
Exactly.
soon to make a reference to him yet. But but no, if you got it, like for example, I believed okay, when I was 12 years old, I was late for school all the time, because I had to learn a new bus route, and my teacher would ask me, "What are you gonna do when it comes to
Right.
working in the real world?"
Yeah.
And I said, "I'm gonna own my own business." That was when I was 12. Fast forward to Culture Shock or Expose the North, which are both my businesses that are running rather well. You know what I
Yay,
mean?
congratulations.
You know what I mean? I never tell anybody I'm rich, but I can pay my bills. So you know
Doesn't
what I
matter.
mean?
That doesn't matter.
Exactly. So like at the end of the day, I held my word. It took me about 20 years, but that whole
Mhm.
20 years,
Yes.
no, I was putting my effort towards that. It's like I told my daughter one time, we were talking about like work and effect, and we gotta close this down soon because we gotta get our little ones ready for
In
the
for
day.
school. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But I I told my daughter what she wanted something, and we were talking about my response to her. I said,
Mhm.
well, it's a matter of like earning it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You have to understand that not everybody's just gonna give you what you want. You have to be willing to contribute your energies to providing what they may require in order to get what you're seeking. She's
Yeah.
like, well, how long do you wait for stuff? I said, girl, I've waited as long as 30 years.
Oh, wow.
This thing right here, I gotta show it just for
Yes.
those. This thing right
Yes.
here,
Your belt.
right? Yes, this thing right here, I waited 30 years before I got.
I know.
And the main reason I got it is because this buckle right here comes out of it because of the design from my belt that I made by my hand. So
I'm proud of you for getting your belt. You've been
thank you.
raving about it for as long as we've been talking online, like 2 years or a year and a half. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I'm when you showed me your belt, I was just like, I didn't see the significance. But when
Mhm.
you explained how much work and effort you put into that, and I was like, David, you really cared, and that's the important part. You cared about that for to wait and be patient enough to get it.
Yes. Yes. And that's what it takes. It takes like care
Yes.
and patience. And I didn't realize, like, there's certain things that I will wait for patiently and diligently, and there's certain
Yeah.
things where I'm just like, nah, now, come on, let's go.
Well, you gotta be a happy, patient person, and that's difficult sometimes. Because you don't know when things are gonna drop in your lap and when things are gonna take 30 years. But you
Yep,
still gotta be grateful for the process. Like you're gonna be ready for it when it comes.
exactly, and that's why if I'm grateful for what I have now, I'll
Exactly.
always have what I need.
Exactly. And everything else is gravy.
Yep. Yep. Speaking of gravy, I got some cheddar bay biscuits. I'm trying to figure out what to make with those. Um,
David, it's been
yeah,
a pleasure. Thank you
it's
so
been a
much for
joy.
spending time with me.
No
And
problem.
you stay
Yes, it's
well.
been, yes, you too as well. This has been episode 2 of Finding Gratitude, which I think we've achieved. Tune in
Yes.
for the next episode, which will pop up when we so decide.
Oh, I'm so grateful for you.
And I'm grateful for you too. All the
Bye.
best.